for smart tutorials provided by the New York Women's Foundation.